Good morning, everybody. Hello, welcome along. Today is Tuesday. It's the 7th of March 2023. This is our 8 a.m. movement snack, a little bit earlier. So welcome along. Good to have you with us on this Tuesday morning. Long day ahead. But hey, you know, it is what it is. It's dry here. It's rained overnight. It's a bit cold. But we didn't get any snow because I know there was some snow forecast, and people were telling me I was going to get it. We were going to get it about 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon. It didn't materialise, which is super dupes. Because I was a little bit worried about that because I was at work till I was at work till 8 o'clock. So a little bit concerned if it was going to snow at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I might get stranded. But you never know. We don't get that much snow down this way. Anyway, good morning. Welcome along. Say hello as you come on board. Let me know you're here. We'll share a bit of time together today, which will be nice. And then I'll see you at the weekend, I think, unless things change. Covering for Kelsey again, and I've made a big boo-boo. Made a big boo-boo. I said to you yesterday, and I sent a thing out last night saying, I'll see you at 7:30 in the morning. And then I suddenly woke up this morning and thought, do you know what? I'm at work for 7:30. I've got my day wrong. It's not a day I can do it at 7:30 and still get to work on time. So, quick up, shower, dressed, everything. Breakfast is in my bag waiting for me. My first cup of tea over the day is here. Look. My colleagues very kindly made it for me as I came in. So my first cup of tea of the day is here waiting for me. So you find me in situ. This is where I work 3 or 4 days of the week. Welcome to our gym. And I'm a few minutes late because I was just trying to get things set up and just trying to steal a couple of sips of my tea, if that's all right. I hope you don't mind. Right. I have no comments coming up on my screen, so I'm just going to go for it, all right? And I will catch up with you afterwards. This is our 8 a.m. movement snack, to say a little bit earlier. So for those of you who are on catch up, hi, pop us a comment in as well, let us know. We shared a bit of time together and we'll go from there. Now I'm just going to try and adjust my phone and see if I can do it without it actually falling over. I don't think I'm going to be able to do it without it falling over. So there we go. Let's get ourselves ready together. So I'm going to lose the comments off the bottom of the screen and we're going to go for it with a good afternoon, good morning everybody. Welcome along. You're with myself, Dave Montgomery from Later Life Training. Today is Tuesday. It's the 7th of March 2023. This is our 8 a.m. movement snack, our morning movement snack. This is where we get things started for the day, okay? So firstly, we decide whether we're doing it standing or seated. The choice is yours. In standing, make sure you've got some fixed external support. Here's my imaginary fixed external support. I do not have any around me, but from where I am. And a strong, sturdy chair. Posture-wise, I've got my heels in line with my knees and my knees in line with hips. Now, it's exactly the same as seated. We just need to be in that front third of the chair. So remember, we bring the back away from the chair, and then we lift and shift to hip walk into the front third. Once we're in the front third of the chair, then we can line everything up as we do in standing. Soften the knees in standing, yeah? Create a little bit of extra space between your ribs and your hips to give you that extra bit of space there. And bring the shoulders up, back, and then press them down. So we've opened this rib cage. We've got a good amount of space within there. From there, let's start with our circulation boosting. So heel raises off the floor. Just bringing those feet up, lifting onto the balls of the feet and the toes, getting some movement starting down below. It's about small movements that we create and make bigger. So from here, we'll take it into a march, lifting the foot clear of the floor, starting to get some bigger movement happening into there. Now, exactly the same in seated. However, if you feel any discomfort in hip flexors in seated, back into that heel raise if you want to. Just trying to make the movement a little bit bigger, okay? We can start to increase the size a little bit more, lifting the foot a bit clearer of the floor. So we start to get the ability to point the toes down, and that means we can start on that ankle mobility. Now from there, let's pop an arm in. Just the one to start off with, driving the elbow backwards, good, strong, sturdy movement. And then we're going to use our support if we are using it. So if we're using our support, we've got the hand on it while we've taken the one hand off. There's no point in having support unless we're going to use it. So hand on, and then to change hands, hand comes down before the other one comes off. So we've always got that contact with that support. Now, if you're in standing and using support, that's what you need to do. If you're not using support in standing and in seated, we can just change the hand as we want to. If your support's by the side, then it's a little bit more involved in it. You lose the hand on the one side, make the march a little bit smaller, take as many steps as you need to turn into your support, placing both hands on as you come around, and then once you've turned around, take the other hand off, and away you go. Now finally, in seated and standing, if you're not using support, we can put both arms and both legs in, so we've got a bigger movement happening all together. We're looking around about 2-3 minutes of this movement just to boost that circulation, and then let's start to bring it down, losing the arms, making the legs a little bit smaller, coming back into that heel raise, and then to a pause. We're ready to start with our trio of trios. All before 9 o'clock, 3 threes before 9. Do the math, it adds up, you know? Cool, I could be on count now, couldn't I? Rachel Riley, move aside. Monty's here for you. Okay, so it's head and shoulders. Starting with those head and shoulders. Base support wise, as we were, heels in line with knees, soften the knees so we've got a good strong position. We start with the shoulders, lifting them towards the ears and then pressing back down. And it's a lift and a press, straight up, straight down, and try and take it back past where we started. 4 or 5 of those is what we're looking for. And then once we've done those 4 or 5, take a momentary pause and let's rotate it. So come forward, lift up towards your ears, back past your earlobes, together and press down. This cyclical motion which allows us to get everything moving. Now if we do it slow and controlled, what we get is the ability to hopefully get the biggest range of motion we can, but also to engage every part of the shoulder. Keeping that neck lengthened all the time. Take a pause after your 4 or 5, again keeping this neck lengthened, support there if you need it, possibly a little bit wider with our base of support, turning the head to the side, pausing in the centre, and then turning the other way. And this little pause in the centre gives us the opportunity to correct any little disturbance we might have in our ear that might make us feel a little bit disorientated. But notice that we make sure we keep the chin level, we keep the eye line level, and we just take it to where it feels comfortable. So we shouldn't feel any pain here, unless we have pain in the neck all the time, in which case no additional pain. Once you've done your 4 or 5 on each side, we're heading into the back of the neck. So here, it is about stacking, getting this. Let's see if we can pull that collar down a bit so you can see a bit clearer. There we go, bring the collar down. So here, we're going to stack the head, right? So fingers on the chin, eye line stays level, draw back, giving yourself an extra chin, come forward. Or you can leave the fingers where they are, draw back, and come forward. Choice is yours. You're looking at 4 or 5 of those, stacking the head back onto the top of the spine, making sure that we get a good alignment in there. That's what we're looking for, is that good alignment within the neck and getting that head stacked onto the top of the spine. Once you do 4 or 5 of those, take a pause and we're back into a circulation booster. Legs only this time and 30 seconds, just enough to reboost that circulation. Making sure everything stays in a good postural position. So we've done head and shoulders, and we're continually using our head and our shoulders as we turn to the sides, to cross the road, to look at things, to pick things up that might be on the side of us, and anything where we take the hands away from the body. So for me, talking, can't talk without moving my hands. That's where you involve those shoulders. So that's where we want that mobility. Now, let's take a pause there and let's go into the mid region. So, reset our base of support, a wide base of support, heels outside of the hips in line with those shoulders. Movement 1, down towards your knees, pause in the centre, and then the other way. Now, if you're using support in front, you change hands every time. If you're using it to the side, then you go into the support, back to the centre, and repeat. Do your 4 or 5 on that side, and then change. In seated, the bottom stays firmly on the chair as we reach down to the side, come on up, pause, and then back down that other way. So we're continually making sure that we're reaching down and pausing. Lengthening through the side of the bottom. Side of the body, the bottom stays firmly on that chair. So we're not leaning, we're lengthening. We're getting this extra length through the side of the body. 4 or 5 on each side. And once you've done that 4 or 5, take a pause and let's go into our trunk twist. Now here, it's about these hips staying still. So soften the knees, that will help. We've got this wider base of support that we had before. We'll make sure we keep that, okay? We turn to the side, we pause in the centre, and then we turn the other way. This little pause in the centre is the chance for everything to stabilise itself. Now, if you're using support again, change hands in front or into your support and back of yours to the side. In seated, it's about your buttocks staying firmly on that chair. So as I rotate, the weight stays even within my buttocks. I'm not changing, I'm not allowing the weight to shift. So therefore, in standing, you might want to use your support. Pop your back against it, pop your hips against it, and as you turn, if you feel the hips or the bottom lifting away, that's going to tell you that you've got movement into your hips, and we don't want to. We want to try and stabilise that and get everything into here. Now, seat belts, getting the coat on, getting you dressed, those sorts of things. But anything where we rotate through the body, so even rolling over in bed, we've got that movement involved in there. 4 or 5 each way, and once you've done them, head into the back, the lower back, so it's big back spender time. Now soften your knees, it's about the pelvis staying still here, so stand tall, and what we do, lift the chest, and then extend. Come back in, and release. So it's a lift and an extension. Now once again in standing, that support will give you some sensory feedback, because as I'm sat here, look, I'm lifting and I'm extending, I can feel through the way that my bottom and the top part of my thighs are on that chair as to whether I've got movement or not. And that's going to give me the signal as to whether I'm moving into that pelvis. We want to isolate it, and we want to make sure that we don't hinge back. So it's not a lean, it's a lift and a lengthen. There we go. After that, back into another circulation booster. Upper body only this time. I can feel a sneeze coming on, so bear with me a second. Oh, excuse me. Driving those elbows backwards, getting this big movement happening. We can make it a bit bigger if we want to, so we start to engage some rotation into that chest as well. Again, it's just about 30 seconds of this movement, enough to boost the body, but not take it too far. And then once we've reached that 30 seconds, let's bring it back down. Let's move into our ankle, feet and toes, our last trio of movement. Support if you need it, so we can focus on the movement, not the balance. Toe on the floor, lift and put the heel in the same place. Splay your toes out when you've got the heel on the floor. As you come on over, scrunch the toes and then point them down. 4 or 5 on one side and then change to the other. In seated, we can do that movement. Let's just adjust those feet slightly to give ourselves room to be able to do it. Or take a notch on back, to coin a phrase from Kelsey's part of the world. Extend the foot away in front, still sit tall at the back, don't lean onto the back of the chair. Lift the foot clear of the floor, about 1 inch, 2 inches, point the toes away, bring the toes in towards the shin. There's our scrunch, there's our flex of those toes. Now, this isn't about strength, so certainly don't let that leg come up here, and if you need to pop it down after every one or every couple, do. Reset, and away you go. And once you've done your 4 or 5 on one side, change to the other. To finish off, let's have a look at that movement in standing. It's here, isn't it? It's this heel-toe action. Thinking about how we place that foot, we come through onto the heel, we roll through onto the ball of the foot and up onto our toe as we walk. There we go, that is your 8 AM movement snack on this Tuesday morning, Tuesday the 7th of March 2023. Have a great day, stay moving, stay active, stay mobile, keep crowbarring, and I'll see you at the weekend. Toodles everyone.